Welcome to Let's Talk Showbiz here on the Joy News channel. My name is Doreen Avio, and well, unfortunately, there's some sad news for the entertainment industry. I'll bring you the updates on the passing of legendary A.B. Quenzel. And also, Samini was in London in attendance for the late Sonny Bali's funeral as well. I'll bring you updates on that, and also some other interesting things happening in the showbiz industry. My name again is Doreen Avio. Don't go anywhere. If you're just tuning in, this is Let's Talk Showbiz. My name is Doreen Avio. And for the entertainment industry this morning, we woke up to some sad news. That's the passing of legendary A.B. Quenzel. Now, he passed away this morning in a hospital. And, well, I guess for most of us, the last time I probably saw him was at Kwame Eugene's Hero concert, where Kwame Eugene honored him at the event. I was the host then, and well, I saw him perform. Quite a lively man, and in fact, Kwame donated some items to him, like a phone, television, and some money and other items. It was beautiful, and well, if you were at Plus 233, that was last year in December, then you will understand what I'm talking about. So today, we decided to, check on Kwame Eugene to see if he's heard the news and how he's feeling about it. So here's Kwame Eugene talking about it, and what you're seeing right now is when he was cutting the cake, everything that happened at Plus 233. Let's check it out.
Not so well. I'm a little bit sad and down today because the legend I idolize so much is dead, so not so well.
I know last year in December, Heroes concert, you literally honored him. You performed on stage with him, and it was so beautiful. A lot of people really commended you for that good work. And, well, I want to find out from you, how did you receive the news of his passing?
So my manager called me very early in the morning, and he was like, yeah, there's bad news. I got really scared, because he doesn't call me in the morning with bad news like that. This is the first time he called me to say this bad news. And I said, you should go ahead, and he told me everything. But I actually shouted, oh no.
Wow.
And for like a minute, I was on the phone. I didn't know what to say because it's just too much. So I didn't know what to say. It was like a blow to the jaw, and I didn't feel good at all. And I'm still in that state because I was very close to the man, and I grew up listening to his music. And becoming a celebrity like me, I also have the opportunity to go visit him in the house. And when my manager told me Quenzel was dead, the first thing I said was, I can imagine how his wife is feeling right now, the pain she's going through, because I know the chemistry between the two of them, because I've been around them and how they passionately love each other. So I was putting myself in the shoes, in her shoe. If it were to be my mother, I can't actually bear that kind of pain. So I know what she's going through by now. I'm just happy that it looks like the whole media and everybody is with her at this moment.
What do you think is his greatest legacy?
His greatest legacy is his iconic presence of high life music. And you can't mention top 5 high life musicians ever to do this thing without putting his name in the top 3. This is A.B. Quenzel we're talking about. He gave us bangers. He made people happy. He became a mentor to a lot of people. He inspired a lot of people, and a big example is someone like me. So his impact in high life music is, like I said earlier on, iconic, and it's something nobody can take from him. And his name will still live forever and ever. He's actually left a legacy that is untouchable.
Now, Kwame, considering not too long ago you honored him at Plus 233, and I'll mention that again, what does his death mean to you, and what do you think his death would take away from the high life genre?
I think it's not even a conversation about what his death means to me. It's about how his death would actually affect this whole industry, because he's an icon, and he's been somebody that's representing high life music for a very long time now, and we can actually not pay blind eyes to the fact that high life music, one way or the other, is struggling these days because of the more influence of Afrobeat and hip hop and this drill music in our scene, which is beautiful. But then again, high life music, as known as something that represents our heritage, our culture, and what we're known for as Ghanaians, to be our genre of music. A.B. Quinto was the reason why, it's part of the reasons why high life music was still intact till date, because even though he was not so strong, he tried as much as possible to support everybody that's in support of high life music as well. So to go all the way to his house and get people to drive him all the way to my concert, he had to sit down throughout almost the whole of the performance. And at some point in time, he had to stand up and make a long speech about high life music and how he's super excited about me following high life music and supporting high life music. And it means he's not going to die since someone like me and young ones like me are actually learning to be in this position one day when he's not around. So he's like, let me say that the salt in the soup is actually gone, and it's something we are going to pay dearly for it. And I'm hoping that people will rise to to honor him even now after he's dead, and try to live on his legacy, because he's actually left something prestigious behind.
Kwame, thank you so much.
Right, so that was the voice of Kwame Eugene there, and you could tell that the young man is broken. And I mean, he said he was at his house, met his wife, and the kind of relationship he saw between the two of them. He's wondering how his wife is going to feel about his passing. But we all know that we've lost something indeed in the creative arts industry, and we're asking that may his soul rest in perfect peace. I'm sure if anything comes up with regards to his passing, we'll definitely bring you updates on that here on Let's Talk Showbiz. Now, moving on to one passing to the other. So, just a few weeks ago, we heard about the passing of Sonny Bali, and one person that we all our minds went to was Samini. I mean, he's always talked about Sonny Bali. And this morning on Daybreak Hits, he spoke to Andy Dosty because he was at the funeral in London, and he spoke about how Sonny Bali has always been a father to him, and the fact that Sonny actually taught him everything, all the ropes in the showbiz industry. Let's listen to Samini on that one.
Samini, good morning, and thank you very much for your time. How are you?
Good morning, Andy Dosty. Good morning, all panelists. I'm doing good, thank you. Hope you're doing great too.
Well, I'm fine. I thought you were in America. How did you get to the UK quickly? it was sudden.
And right, I had to schedule myself such that I made it to the UK for the ceremony. So I performed on the 10th. I mean, the event for the DMV was on the 10th. So I arranged to travel on the 11th to get here for the 12th in the morning, because the event was for the 11 o'clock on the 12th. So I got here at around 7 a.m. and then Nash picked me up. We went straight to freshen up and then went straight ahead to the event. You know, I had already promised Mommy that I was coming, so there was no way I could be anywhere else.
Okay. First off, how did you hear the news of his death?
I woke up to a voice note from Portia. Portia is the first lady that had his very first child, Iriakia. So, and Portia hardly messages me. Like, I don't remember the last time I heard from her. And then the voice note just said, Ima Sonia Wu, Sonia Wu. Wow. You know, and it was just too sudden and too straightforward. I didn't know how to even process it. So I called a few people in London who also did have the confirmation. Then I reached out to his mom, and lo and behold, it was true. So we started dealing with it like that from there. You know, I've tried to handle it the best way I can. It's a huge loss for all of us as industry people, and as a person, he was like my dad in the music space. He introduced me to almost everything I know. You know, and I would always be grateful for that.
Well,
May his soul rest in peace.
Prior to his death, what was your relationship with him? How often did you see him? How often did you talk to him?
I mean, I wouldn't come to London without seeing Sonny. there's not been a time that I've been in London without seeing him. This would be the very first time I've come to London and, not seen him alive. Wow. It's a different feeling altogether. I don't know how to react to it, because me and Sonny were good. I mean, even when he wasn't as active as at some point in the music space, anytime I had gigs in London, he would be with me backstage. He would be with me at my hotels, travel with me to different cities. We do a lot together. We'll be on WhatsApp, but for like 6 to 9 months, I hadn't spoken to him in person, and he messaged me randomly, "Yeah, are you cool?" I said, "Yeah, you cool." And the next thing I heard, he wasn't here with us anymore.
So, when you got to the funeral yesterday, how was the atmosphere? Were Ghanaians present, or was it an all white affair?
No. It was a mix. Sonny is a man of all people. He has friends from across, all races, if I should say. So it was quite a mix. But Ghanaians represented hard for a weekday funeral in London, and people just took time off work to come. It was packed. The streets were packed. People, there was Jama groups all over the place. It was like,
wow.
I have not seen a funeral like this in London, most especially be a weekday. I haven't. I'm yet to see anything like this. But for a man like Sonny, I think, he deserves everything we did for him yesterday and more.
What we heard was that he passed on due to a heart failure. I know that musicians are very, very busy. Some don't even have time to exercise. Which lessons have you learned from this?
What I have learned is that one day we're here and the next day we're not. So whatever you have to do it now. Yeah. So stay positive, do whatever you have to do, but do it now. But in a more realistic space, I believe that exercise is a very important thing, because heart failure, is due to most times inactivity. But sometimes too, gym instructors get heart failures too.
Right.
Right, so that was the voice of Samini, and may Sonny Bali's, of course, may he also rest in perfect peace. It looks like we're literally losing quite a number of people in the showbiz industry, but I believe God knows best. And now let's move back into our industry, where a lot of things are happening. I know that we are all looking forward to the musical elections. I mean, every time it's being postponed, but it looks like they have a date. And probably the date will be 30th of August. We're all looking forward to it. And also, Ben Braco thinks that the showbiz industry is not being respected. It's like, there's nothing about us. He's not too happy about it. And